Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Authorities are pushing for a major transformation in SANDAKAN as recovery efforts begin following a devastating fire that razed 1,000 homes. The blaze in Kampong Bahagia displaced over 9,000 residents, sparking an urgent federal and state response to provide legal recognition and housing solutions for the water village. The initiative is led by Sabah's Chief Minister, Dr. Sri Hajiji Noor, in collaboration with the Ministry of Home Affairs as well as the Ministry of Housing and Local Government. The Sabah government is now proposing a full redevelopment of the charred site, aiming to convert the former refugee settlement into a formal and sanctioned residential area. Officials are evaluating land reclamation strategies to construct new housing units for the victims, the majority of whom are non-citizens originally settled under the UNHCR approval. The Home Ministry is simultaneously deploying the National Registration Department to facilitate the replacement of identity documents lost in the tragedy. However, the ministry clarified that new documents will be issued on a case-by-case basis, specifically targeting those confirmed as Malaysian citizens. In tandem with the legal efforts, the Ministry of Housing and Local Government has expressed readiness to partner with the state to coordinate long-term recovery measures. The fire, which broke out on April 19, posed significant challenges for rescuers due to dense housing layouts and low-tide conditions that restricted water supply. As an initial measure, a cash aid of 2,000 ringgit is being distributed to each affected household to address immediate needs. While the immediate focus remains on relief centers, the long-term stakes involve a massive infrastructure overhaul to ensure emergency preparedness in high-risk water settlements. The blaze, which broke out on Sunday, decimated approximately 1,000 homes across a 4-hectare area in Kampong Bahagia water village. Authorities in Sarawak have dismantled a smuggling operation involving specially modified trucks designed to conceal illegal fuel shipments. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, or KPTN, intercepted the vehicle at a Kuching gas station on Monday after enforcement officers detected suspicious refueling patterns. State Director Matthew Dominic Barin confirmed the seizure in a statement on Tuesday, noting that the fuel was hidden in reinforced tanks at the rear of the truck. Officers conducting static surveillance at the station inspected the vehicle after noting an unusual configuration. They discovered 2 hidden intermediate bulk containers or IBC tanks secured under tight covering in the rear cargo hold. The director described the refined methods used by the syndicate to evade detection. Enforcement teams seized 650 litres of diesel valued at over 1,300 ringgit. The total value of the seizure, including the truck and pumping equipment, is estimated at nearly 24,000 ringgit. The case is now being investigated under Section 21 of the Control of Supplies Act 1961 through Ops 555 for unlawful possession of controlled goods under suspicious circumstances. Authorities warn that legal repercussions for such offences are severe. KPTN Sarawak is ramping up monitoring at gas station hotspots to stop subsidy leakage and economic sabotage. Enforcement officials reiterate that there will be zero tolerance for syndicates exploiting government-subsidized goods. The government is unveiling a major financial intervention to shield small businesses and unemployed youth from global economic volatility. An additional 5 billion ringgit is being injected into central bank facilities to assist micro, small and medium enterprises struggling with the rising costs. The announcement comes alongside new pledges to tackle unemployment among graduates despite national data showing a decade-low jobless rate. Speaking after a roundtable with financial institutions today, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim confirmed that Bank Negara Malaysia will manage the new 5 billion ringgit allocation. This injection complements an existing 5 billion ringgit guarantee under the Business Financing Guarantee Company or SJPP, bringing the total support package to 10 billion ringgit. He stresses that these resources must reach the most vulnerable operators in the economy, including those in the agriculture and small-scale retail sectors.
Bantuan ini mesti juga melibatkan syarikat-syarikat yang lebih kecil dan kita minta dipastikan dengan semua kemudahan lain CGC dan lain-lain yang ada dalam rencana Bank Negara Malaysia bersama dengan perbendaraan supaya melibatkan juga kelompok pertanian, pekebun kecil, nelayan, penjaja, juga yang mengendali warung dan restoran kecil.
The enhanced guarantee now covers up to 80% of financing with an extended tenure of 10 years, targeting businesses impacted by the global energy crisis and regional conflicts. The Prime Minister also revealed that the government is pivoting to address gaps in the labour market.
Dan saya akan umumkan langkah-langkah tambahan supaya kelompok yang tersisih dari peluang pekerjaan termasuk siswazah menganggur ataupun yang lulusan diploma, itu kita akan umumkan dalam masa singkat langkah-langkah tambahan.
National unemployment stands at 2.9%, marking its best performance in 10 years, while the ringgit continues to show strength against other Asian currencies. The government is vowing to avoid any abrupt changes to national fuel subsidies despite mounting pressure from the persistent geopolitical crisis in West Asia. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Amar Fadilah Yusof reiterates that any adjustments to the subsidy framework will be driven by comprehensive data analysis rather than hasty reaction to market volatility. The assurance comes as global energy markets face prolonged instability, forcing nations to re-evaluate fiscal protections. Fadilah acknowledges that the conflict in West Asia could persist for the next 1 or 2 years, presenting a significant challenge to domestic energy costs.
Jadi ini sudah pasti cabaran yang kita tahu. Dan dari situlah kita kena melihat pada data apa yang perlu kita laksanakan untuk memastikan bekalan tenaga kita terjamin, rakyat akan terlindung, pertumbuhan ekonomi akan terus berkembang. Pihak industri akan dibantu mengikut apa yang dilakukan sekarang ini.
Fadilah describes the current global energy crisis as one of the most significant disruptions in recent history. He revealed that monthly subsidy costs have surged dramatically, now ranging between 6 billion and 7 billion ringgit per month. Despite this fiscal burden, the government maintains that it will not allow these fluctuations to derail national economic development plans. Several main roads around Miri City will be temporarily closed and diverted for the SARAWAK Sayang 2026 program, taking place from April 24th to 26th. The Miri District Police say the closures will be focused around the indoor and outdoor stadium areas and will not affect all routes throughout the event. Miri District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Farhan Lee Abdullah says full road closures and diversions will be enforced on April 26 from as early as 6 a.m. until about 9 a.m. This is to facilitate a fun walk event starting and ending at the Miri Outdoor Stadium. Other affected routes include the Masjid At-Taqwa Slip Road, Jalan Persekutuan Junction, Jalan Merdu Junction, Jalan Post Junction, as well as traffic lights at Jalan Sylvia and Mega, including several junctions along Jalan North, Yusang, and Jalan Masjid. The public is advised to plan their journeys early and use alternative routes such as Jalan Krokop, Jalan G4, and Jalan Pujut to avoid congestion. Those attending the event are encouraged to arrive early or use designated parking areas at Boulevard and Pelita Tunku. A free transit bus service will also be provided to shuttle visitors to the Miri Indoor Stadium. Both Washington and Tehran are warning they are ready for war as a second round of peace talks in Pakistan hangs in a dangerous limbo. With the truce set to expire within the next 24 hours, the question isn't just if the fighting will resume, but how much worse it might get. U.S. President Donald Trump insists that a U.S. naval blockade is absolutely destroying Iran. On social media, the president warned that if a deal isn't reached before the deadline, lots of bombs will start going off. He's pushing for a total surrender of Iran's nuclear stockpile, but Tehran isn't biting. The Speaker of Iran's parliament fired back today, accusing Trump of using the ceasefire to force a surrender. He says the Iranian military has spent the last 2 weeks preparing new cards for the battlefield.
احتمال اینکه دشمن اقدامات مجدداً حمله سبعانه خودش رو شروع بکنه اصلا کم نیست. این احتمال واقعا احتمال کاملا کمی نیست، احتمال بالایی. باید یک آمادگی با 100% نسبت به این احتمال حجمه مجدد دشمن داشته باشه.
The biggest flashpoint remains the Strait of Hormuz. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is threatening to target any vessel that enters without permission. Despite the blockade, intelligence reports show at least 20 shadow vessels have managed to slip past U.S. warships, keeping the region's energy markets in a state of whiplash. While the U.S. and Iran trade threats, a separate peace in Lebanon is also fraying. A French peacekeeper was killed in a Hezbollah ambush this weekend, and Israel is still warning civilians to stay away from southern border villages. Even so, diplomats say a second round of Israel-Lebanon talks is still scheduled for Thursday in Washington. With regard to Iran, Trump says it's highly unlikely he'll extend the truce. If a breakthrough doesn't happen in Islamabad today, the Middle East could be just hours away from a massive escalation. Apple CEO Tim Cook has announced he is stepping down, marking the biggest leadership shakeup at the tech giant since the death of Steve Jobs. After 15 years at the helm, the 65-year-old Cook will officially hand over the keys to the kingdom this September. Under his watch, Apple's value skyrocketed to a staggering $4 trillion, cementing its place as the most valuable company on the planet. Cook's legacy is defined by a massive expansion of the iPhone supply chain and the creation of hits like AirPods and the Apple Watch. But as he moves into his new role as executive chairman, the company finds itself at a critical crossroads. Taking the reins is John Ternus, a 20-year company veteran and current hardware chief. Ternus has his work cut out for him. As Apple celebrates its 50th anniversary, investors are worried the company is falling behind in the high-stakes AI race against rivals like Microsoft and Google. Ternus is being described as a pedigree hardware expert, but analysts say the pressure is on for him to deliver a culture-changing big thing, something critics say was missing from the latter Cook years, following the scrap Apple car project and the slow start for the Vision Pro headset. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.